that the United States of America is not governed and policed by foul-mouthed rappers who need to pull their pants up and get a belt.
Matter sign is reducing the property value of this area and making it look very bad.
Joyce Dickerson pointed out that they're all for white men.
So he'd be a part of that group.
It would be nice for the National Football League to go away from their good old boys club and let an African American in as an owner, or a group of African Americans ultimately own a team. That would be nice.
Redskins player Sua Cravens accused the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office of racially profiling him during a traffic stop.
And it doesn't matter what color you are. A thug is a thug.
I'm black. I got tattoos on my neck. I'm out here in a nice car.
This is not just about being black. It's about a movement of equality and justice.
I would like to see an African American owner let in the good old boys club.
Listen, man.
All lives matter. All lives matter. All lives matter.
Damn!
All lives matter.
Now YouTube censored.
I'm mad as hell right now. Yes, I am.
Viewer discretion is advised. Mama Black.
This program contains language and sequences some viewers may find disturbing.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg Locke here. And as a pastor, let me say something. I'm sick and tired of the news media covering these gang-banging thugs that are targeting our law enforcement officers all over this country. We need to be reminded that the United States of America is not governed and policed by foul-mouthed rappers who need to pull their pants up and get a belt. Law enforcement officers put their lives on the line every single day for pennies on the dollar, very few benefits, and yet we want a broad stroke and say because one or two or three make a poor decision, then they're all bad. Are you kidding me? I'm a pastor and I thank God for the calling upon my life, but even in my occupation and my profession, there are more crooked preachers than there are crooked police officers. If I would have disrespected a law enforcement officer when I was growing up, my grandfather would have knocked me to the floor and asked questions after I pulled myself up. And it doesn't matter what color you are. A thug is a thug. And the crowd of political correctness says you can't use the word thug. That's the new N-word. Really? I know a lot of white boys that want to be Eminem who need to have their mouth washed out with soap, and they're nothing more than criminalized
Southwest
thugs.
resident Latoya Johnson checked her mailbox Saturday afternoon. She didn't expect to read this.
Dear neighbor, could you please remove your Black Lives Matter sign from your front yard?
The anonymous sender continued to say,
This is not Cottonwood, Compton, or Watts, and your Black Lives Matter sign is reducing the property value of this area and making it look very bad.
The writer told Johnson they're only going to say this
one time and one time only.
to remove this Black Lives Matter sign from her front yard. As a homeowner in this neighborhood for 2 years and a daycare owner, Johnson says she was hurt to know someone could write and send her something like this.
There are black people and there are just like there are white people and white Mexican and Mexican. If you want to be equal and respected, then be a neighbor, not a.
The letter was allegedly written by one of her neighbors who did not identify themselves. Johnson says after she read it, she felt threatened.
I was scared because I took it as a threat, and I was also shocked because I wasn't aware that anyone felt this way about me. In this neighborhood.
Molly, the only point that I would like to make about this is 2017. The National Football League is the #1 league in America. I would like to see an African American owner let in the in a good old boys club.
Just listen, man. He made people call him Muslim.
Yeah. Listen, Diddy said he wants to buy it. I don't know if he has the money, but he wants it.
Oh, he's got some. He can put together a group.
Steph Curry said he wants in too, so he'd be a part of that group.
It would be nice for the National Football League to go away from their good old boys club and let an African American in as an owner, or a group of African Americans ultimately own a team. That would be nice to see.
Yo, I just got pulled over by the police, bro. Look at these. They got, let me show you. They got squad cars out here, man. They got squad cars out here. Right here. I'm at the Ashburn Shopping Plaza. I came to get some bread for my shrimp steak, liquor, and pasta. And these dudes came over here tripping, pulled me over. I said I was going 39 and a 35. Pulled me over out in the parking lot of the store. I got out my car. This man ran up on me, said, "Stay in your car." Bro said, "Stay in your car." Ran up on me. I said, what? Bro pulled me out the car and said, "Calm down." Started pushing me up against the whip. put cuffs on my hands. Like, yo. And then the dickhead thought he was going to find some, and then accused me, yeah, both you guys smell like weed. You know, oh, get out the car. Accuses me of smelling like weed. This man opened my door and was just saying that I smelled like weed. Came to my car, pulled me out. Hoping that he finds something. Put me in the back of the squad car right there. Handcuffs on, all that. Couldn't even fit in that bitch, bro. It's my first time having cuffs. Cuffed up on my wrist for no reason. Bro tried to search my car. Not a fucking thing. Couldn't find nothing. Could not find nothing, bro. Really searched my car hoping to find something. Couldn't find nothing. It's a brand new car.
Tonight, Cary police are responding to a Facebook post circulating accusing an officer of racism during a traffic stop. They say their officers had nothing to do with it. Our Michael Hyland getting answers from the woman at the center of this and the department. Michael?
Yeah, a young woman who's biracial said a police officer called her derogatory names after pulling her over. But Cary police say whoever did this might not have been a police officer at all. Hannah Charette says she's still struggling to understand why.
I've lived here my whole life and I've never had problems with any police officers.
On Thursday morning, she says an officer in an unmarked car pulled her over along Northwest Maynard Road in Cary. He said she failed to signal a lane change, but then told her this.
The Lord placed it on his heart to tell me that my parents needed to repent for my sin, and he started going on kind of like a rant.
She says that rant included comments about her being biracial.
Interracial couples are this huge sin in the Bible, and how like we're basically just doomed for hell, and like I should learn from my parents' mistakes. And then he called me a half-breed.
Her mom posted about this on Facebook, generating a lot of interest, and Cary police investigated. Hannah got pulled over twice. Records show the first time was around 7:30 in the morning near West Cary Middle School. A Cary officer said she was speeding in a school zone but did not give her a ticket. Hannah says she heard the racial comments when she got pulled over a second time that morning.
Then he said that he wasn't giving me a ticket because he felt like he had done the Lord's work already.
Cary police reviewed records and video and can't find any evidence a town police officer was involved. They haven't ruled out it could have been someone posing as an officer.
Even if it's not a Cary police officer, it's pretty terrible that someone would do that. Even like impersonating a police officer, because who knows what else he's doing.
Police say they're still investigating, but haven't gotten any other reports of something like this happening recently. The police chief says if one of his officers did this, he would not tolerate it. While police still aren't sure exactly what happened, they are sure it wasn't one of their officers.
Columbia Place Mall off Two Notch Road has been searching for new life for years. This, a look at that mall from our Sky I-10 news drone. And Richland County officials say they think they're the solution. But this plan doesn't come without controversy. The council's Renaissance plan would move county offices from Hampton Street to the mall. Chad Mills saw the plans today, and Chad, not all the county officials are on board with this, right?
You're absolutely right, Dondi, but the majority of them do seem to be on board. They're calling it a renaissance because they want to bring Richland County up to the level of a Greenville County, a Charleston County, even an Oconee County. Council Chair Joyce Dickerson went so far as to say when she travels home to Richland County, she doesn't want to feel like she's returning home to Peoria. Thus, the reason she wants to make this county feel more like a metropolitan center. However, on the road to Renaissance, many others are asking the county to pump the brakes. It's dubbed Richland's Renaissance, and the plans sound almost ambitious as that name.
This was not a helter-skelter moment where we made this decision. We waited with much deliberation.
The Renaissance would restructure county government by moving offices to the site of Columbia Place Mall and the county courthouse to where those offices are now, the corner of Hampton and Hardin Streets, and it would sprinkle in other buildings like an aquatic center in Lower Richland.
Blurry vision is what I'm talking about. Blurry vision impedes forward movement.
The county made the announcement Tuesday afternoon to fanfare, but not everyone there was sold.
I understand that many of these council members may want to put their stamp on something before they leave office.
Rashad Eggister feels like he and other voters were kept in the dark.
The public has not had a say in any of this at all. In fact, the way this has happened and the way it's not been put out in comparison to how vocal they are on their Twitter page, really just doesn't seem like the Richland County Council that I know.
Councilman Seth Rose, one of the 5 of 11 council members who voted against the plan last week, agrees.
I'm not just concerned as an elected official for this area, as a member of county council. I'm concerned as a taxpayer and as a citizen, because I think if this plan doesn't work out, it could really put the finances of Richland County in jeopardy.
But Council Chair Joyce Dickerson disagrees, says the public will have input in some of the particulars, and says Renaissance won't bankrupt the county.
The plan is to design the plan so that we can stay within budget, so that we don't bankrupt the county.
Now, I want to address another of the rumors that has come up several times today. A lot of people have pointed out that the council chamber behind me was replaced just a few months ago, and it is a nice new state-of-the-art facility to the tune of $1.2 million. The fear is that it will be demolished when the county moves to Two Notch Road. Dickerson told me today that won't happen. When they rebuild the courthouse on this site, it will be built around the county council chamber behind me. One other note, 4 of the 5 men who voted against the plan last week were not here tonight. Joyce Dickerson pointed out that they're all 4 white men.
That's racist!
One of those men, Seth Rose, pointed out that it could cost $250 million to build all of this. Joyce Dickerson, however, wouldn't give me a number. She said she wanted to speak to the county administrator so as not to misspeak. Live in Richland County, Chad Mills, WIS News 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've raised a generation of smart-mouthed, narcissistic individuals who have no reverence and respect for authority whatsoever, and then we wonder why this nation is in the absolute mess that it's in. You see, folks, when it all goes down, and it will go down, I'm standing on the side of law enforcement. We need a commander-in-chief that'll put on a suit and tie, stand before the American people, and let them know that we fully, emphatically, and passionately support law enforcement officers. Those that wear the uniform deserve our love, our compassion, our understanding, and our respect. They have a thoroughly difficult job. The next time you have an accident or some idiot breaks into your house, you're not going to call 411 information. You're going to call 911 emergency, because you know a sworn-in officer of the law is going to show up to protect and to serve. Let's thank God for those who wear the uniform and not be so abrasive and vindictive towards them. Their job is difficult enough as it is, ladies and gentlemen, and what they need is our love, our prayers, and our support. And now let me be real straight up with you. Black lives matter? Sure they do. All lives matter. But let me tell you something about that liberal, godless organization. They don't care about black lives. They care about pitting America against each other. They want to turn Americans against law enforcement. They would love nothing more than another civil war in this nation, and there is no way around that fact. Black Lives Matter are no better than Nazis and the KKK, and I'm here to tell you, if that makes you mad, then you clicked on the wrong video today. So in closing, let me say to all of you law enforcement officers, I thank God for you. I appreciate you, and I respect you. When you pull me over for speeding, I'm going to man up and take my ticket without sticking a camera in your face and screaming about my rights. Thank you for what you do. May God bless you, may God bless your family, and may God bless the United States of America.
Johnson says she's never had any issues with her neighbors. She says the reason why she decided to hang this in her front yard is because what she says is happening around the world involving black men and violence.
I have 3 boys. We live in a very, very tough society, especially with this social media stuff going on. And I want my boys to know that, hey, your lives matter. When they're coming to their place of residence, hey, my life matters.
Johnson says she believes all lives do matter, and she says her sign is not suggesting that it doesn't.
All lives have always mattered. Our lives have really never mattered. And by our, I mean black people. Why is my freedom of speech making you upset?
Johnson filed a police report, and she says she's hoping by speaking out, this will never happen again.
This is not just about being black. It's about a movement of equality and justice.
Video that is being shared across the country on Twitter yesterday. Redskins player Sua Cravens accused the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office of racially profiling him during a traffic stop. Stephanie Ramirez tells us the stop actually happened about 3 weeks ago.
I'm told this all happened on November 29th.
Bro pulled me out the car and said, calm down, started pushing me up against the whip, put cuffs on my hands. Like, yo. And then the He thought he was gonna find some, well, and then accuse me. Yeah, both of you guys smell like weed.
22-year-old Redskins player Sua Cravens says he was pulled over at the Ashburn Shopping Plaza for driving 4 miles over the speed limit as he was going to buy bread. Cravens is the young Washington player who stunned everyone earlier this year when he announced he was going to retire from football. He has since changed his mind and on Monday posted 2 videos telling his 155,000 Twitter followers he was racially profiled.
Cause what? I'm black, I got tattoos on my neck, I'm out here in a nice car.
But the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is saying no, he wasn't. A spokesperson tells me deputies stopped Cravens for going 39 in a 25-mile-per-hour zone outside of Farmwell Middle School. They also ticketed him for illegally tinted windows. There's a lot of questions like why post the video now? We didn't hear an answer to that, but we did hear the county's NAACP president, Philip Thompson, say this about what's going on.
It's important that the officers also understand that the community is on edge because of some of the things that have occurred in other jurisdictions.
Thompson tells me he actually had a conversation with Sheriff Chapman just last night to talk about what they both can do together for everyone involved when it comes to these traffic stops. The NAACP also asked for Cravens to contact them. Now, last I heard that hadn't happened. I also haven't heard from Cravens' manager. The Washington Redskins said no comment. In Loudoun County, Stephanie Ramirez, WUSA 9.
The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office tells WUSA 9 they also haven't received any formal complaint.
And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more and interesting information like this.
Fight their asses.